Oh, here we go, Mojo. Finally, we get to Ghost Town.
And Oops is going for the middle play, while Spoinkin's going for that classic defilate and B1. Interesting part is actually Camille is playing really defensive down on a south line. While that's going on, Swift is actually not playing any kind of cheese as yesterday with two guys in that defilate. No, they're spreading their bachats both left and right.
Okay, so cautious play at the start. Swift kind of gathering near that in between 1 and 2. The fight's going to happen in Death Alley, where it usually always happens, just round this corner on the other side of where Mersky's looking at.
It's interesting. Is this a trap for Crespix between those guys down? It's going to be a really interesting part of the game, because if he gets ahead of himself, Fitzer and Camille might actually take him out.
Looks like Mihailov's going to rotate round and give him some additional help as well.
Yeah, he's waiting for that, but still, those two guys can easily take out one bachat, and one bachat alone cannot take a 50B then.
Algo, good position here. He's able to spot just that area. I mean, that's where the team, the defending team, always rolls round and starts the fight usually, isn't it?
This is a provoking move now. Percusiat is slowly waging his possibilities, and from this good angle, he might actually enter the cap without any hinders. Now he knows that actually Swift has no tanks that can climb effectively and deal with A1 decapping position. I mean, it can be one of the bachats, but they're not the best ones to do that kind of job, especially against I7. Atmospheric took the first shot there.
Yeah, Percusiat has covering fire from a bachat behind him, it looks like. Possibly, I can't quite see the name, so it's not insane, so it's going to be Fieser or Spoink.
Ooh, Algo is chipping Atmospheric significantly. This is the second in a row.
Cheeky shots there. I'll go into Atmospheric as the cap is started here by the IS-7 of Percusiat. At some point, Swift are going to perhaps want to commit some additional shots to that, because Road's going to have quite a difficult time trying to get through that turret.
Look at the trap that Camille is setting up for Crespix here. Fitzer is spotted, and Crespix is starting to unload, and there is go.
There's
Camille.
the crossfire. Great play here from Camille, just waiting there for Crespix, and he's going to go down. There we go. So Camille gets the kill. Algo taking a smack and return as the overlap comes here, Mojo. Skylex, Atmospheric, and Mendax are going to eliminate Algo.
Algo already served his purpose here, and Fitzer and Camille are now reloading, and they're coming in the back of Swift. But Swift knows their positioning now, and they're gonna collide with everything they have on the Oops guys that are here. If they manage to take out Mayland now and Insane, the game will be over.
Pincer movement coming in here from Swift as we see Skylex and Atmospheric on one side, Mendax, Mersky, and Mihailov on the other, as two tanks drop from Oops. Nice counterplay here from Swift. Oops, you need to start getting your guns back in the game here. You're getting completely outplayed at the moment.
I think it was a big mistake to keep those 57s right there to try to counter the entire team. If they held them a little bit back, ready to run away, because as soon as Algo was dying there, they should have just ran away with those T57 and 54.
So we see Mersky getting dropped there on Swift, but Swift currently have 5 tanks available in the game. Oops have 4, but they're losing health. Now they're down to 3 tanks left. Swift in control here, Mojo. This looks like they're going to take the map.
Fitzer is dead also here. He has nowhere to go, and he's on reload. Spoink is on reload. He cannot help him. This one goes to the Swift, mate. We might go for what we've said.
Yeah, this could actually wrap back round into a tiebreaker. Oops, we're sitting, or they're still sitting on match point here to be able to win the match here against Swift. But as we're seeing from Swift's previous results, they are not taking other teams lightly, or other teams should not take them lightly, more to say, as Swift are starting to become a team to be reckoned with.
Well, they had some time to cool off while the Twitch was down, so they could talk about the Ghost Town, prepare better, you know, take a breather, and not go in the match heated up from the defeats so far. So they used this time well. I mean, it was a good trap to take out a bachat here, Crespix. It was really good, that's fine. But there was a misplay between the other guys because they left themselves wide open for counter-attack from Swift.
Yeah.
And Swift took it instant. They saw, aha, okay, those 250Bs. Yes, you killed Crespix, fine. We're just going to leave you behind and we're going to kill everyone else.
It's like the minute that happened, it's like, okay, well, they're not in the town, so let's just kill the guys in the town because we don't have to worry about the 50Bs clipping into us.
So the moment that Algo got killed, honestly, those two guys, 57 and 54E1, they should have ran like hell. Somewhere
Yeah.
far behind the buildings, leave everything, just cover Percusiat in that IS-7 from far away until those 50 Bs actually come and start making the crossfire together.
So let's have a look at the post-battle stats and see the damage done there from both teams. So Mendax coming out there on top, T57 heavy, huge amount of damage, way ahead of everyone else.
At 57 is always paying off on this map. I mean, combo between E100s and 57s proven to be really brutal one on this map, because those 57s pumping out those 4 shells really fast, heat shells, so they can pen most of the heaviest armor in a game, and E100s to block off the damage and just tank with their pure HP, and then occasionally give that nice little alpha. But look at this, insane. He fired 3 times for 29 damage. That's a ram damage even. That's not even a shot.
See, he's collided into somebody. I mean, that was just at the end when someone drove into him.
Yes.
Yeah, and done a small bit of damage there. But the pincer movement that came onto those 2 tanks was really nice to see. It was a really strong play. Once they'd taken down Algo, they could just wrap around there and get into Insane. And I think it was perhaps Melan beside him. So we can actually have a look at this on the highlight and just see just how well this move came in here from Swift.
So this is a nice trap here by Camille, and Crespix fell to it. But there was an instant response from Swift. So far in the games we've seen Swift always does a swift response if you leave an opening. And this is a big opening, come on. I mean, what will Insane and Melan do here?
Yeah, it's the wrap around, so it's the ram into the E100 is all the damage that he did there. That was a great move to see that come round from Swift. It was really well done, really well timed, and pardon the pun, it was very swiftly executed against Oops.
On a lot of maps so far we've seen between these two, the rotations were always a key. Who does a good rotation, an instant one, he usually won the game between them. And Oops left themselves open for this. They left themselves. This is not even some brilliant play by Swift. This is just a really big blunder by Oops, being separating so much.
I mean, they spent so long setting up that trap down the bottom, but at what cost? And at what cost? The answer to that is it cost them the match. So
the map is small. You can always rotate really fast, so they were open with that.
Okay, so match point still here with Oops. Can they take the win here, or are Swift going to take them to tiebreaker? Let's find out as we look at the lineups here for round 2 on Ghost Town. Now, Conqueror coming out, Mojo. We've not seen one of them for a while.
Yeah, they get blown up so a lot lately, but it's still a great DPM tank. If you don't really turn your 90 degrees to an enemy, you should not be really blown up.
Yeah.
But in attack, Swift using an E100, 257s and 50B, so that's a lot of firepower on one spot. Not really a great capping potential here, unless you use the Bachats as a bait. On the other hand, really fast lineup here by Oops. Even a risky one in this kind of engagement, so it will rely a lot on doing some initial damage to the enemy. Let's see how will they use those 2 tier 9 Bachats actually.
Yeah, the focus fire is going to be really key here from Oops on the defense. Conqueror, I really want to see this one do well because it's a favorite tank of mine. It has fantastic gun handling. So, Mojo, your predictions for this one?
I like the setup by Swift better, but they must make sure that none of them is soloed out by flanking force of Oops, and they should be okay.
Okay, so let's find out as we jump into round 2 on Ghost Town. Oops sitting on match point, 4-3 ahead of Swift. It's all to play for both teams right now. Swift are going to want to try and sacrifice some additional points here. I mean, if they take it to tiebreaker, they get a guaranteed 1 point regardless. Oops are going to want to obviously seal this one and take the maximum 3.
Yes, you want 3. You don't want chip change and everything else. Especially don't want to go to a tiebreaker and possibly maybe even lose it, which would be the worst scenario for any team after so many match points. But really quick spots here, and as I said already, really aggressive play here by Oops guys. But Algo and Insane, I really hope they are not overplaying here. They're taking some cover by the houses here, and there will be a huge clash now between Oops and Swift.
Algo and Insane already getting shots. So it looks like Camille's being focused here by Swift as we see damage coming across Swift to multiple tanks. Swift's gun discipline though much better as Oops have already lost their first tank in Algo. Camille is still being the focus. Now the shots are going into mainland. Mersky's almost dropped on Swift as the shots go into Mendax and also Road in the Conqueror. Mersky's one shot. He's only one more shot into Mersky and that's him dead in the T57 heavy. Oops will be really glad to see him gone. Insane has only 4 health in the tier 9 Batchat. Oops are getting absolutely wrecked in this exchange, Mojo.
As I said, Swift has a really heavier lineup. If they stick together and play it out, they have a huge advantage. I mean, Percusiat again has so much HP, but that's not really worth it because he's a single shooter. It's not like he's going to outflank everyone and kill them one by one. They will reload anytime now, and they will now strike back on the Oops. An advantage of 3000 HP, that's not something you throw away easily.
So Camille getting drawn into their go against Rhodes, but now Skylex has came round, reloaded in his face. Percusiat needs to try and get around the corner and get the kill into Rhodes, but he doesn't. Great defensive play there from Skylex, protecting his teammate, taking out Percusiat. Now Oops only have 3 tanks left in the battle, Mojo. Pretty much 1 tank left as Camille and Spoink are both on one-shots. This is going to go Swift's way, Mojo. We're going to see a tiebreaker.
Even in atmospheric falls down, it really doesn't matter because these guys are so low. I think Respix can kill all of them completely alone.
So Skylex and the T57 Heavy on Swift, still sitting on 1,800 HP. I mean, that was dominating from Swift, Mojo, and pardon the pun again, a very swift round from them.
It was, but again, I would not even credit that much to them here. I mean, they just played their part well, but the hanging part was done by Oops themselves.
A big oopsie.
Yes, oopsie, they did a oopsie there when they pushed there with those 2 tier 9 butt shots. They really put themselves in bad position. Algo was in a crossfire between 2 parts of Swift. So he had no way out to go out of that. That was a misplay. Insane had a much better position and he was actually clipping out that T57. And the rest of the team did a desperate attempt and just pushed in to Swift, who were just positioned behind corners and were like, okay, bring it on. Like, we have the HP, we have the guns, why not?
Now, fair play to Swift coming back into this. They were 4-2 down coming into Ghost Town. The match point was sitting with...
I blame the Twitch.
Sitting with Oops. Twitch going down perhaps didn't help us, but I mean, certainly Oops are going to look back at this one in the future and they're going to be kicking themselves because that was 3 points they should have taken. They should have won either one of these matches on Ghost Town.
Well, this is a problem with a lot of plays they have. They look messy. They usually take out the better end out of it from this kind of mess, but not when someone really puts a foot down and says, okay, we're not going to allow that kind of play. We are going to play better. Ghost Town is really highly conflict map. You can take a lot of aggressive postures without exposing yourself too much. So when someone comes in strong like Oops like this, they better have an overmatch somewhere, and they didn't have. Their lineup was much more fragile. Yep,
so let's have a look at the damage done there from both teams as we bring up the post-battle stats. Skylex in that T57 playing King of the Hill, 3,566 damage. Camille in the AMX 50B coming in top damage there for Oops. The next 2 tanks there from Swift, including an E100. I mean, we only have 2 guys from Oops on the front page. It tells its own story, Mojo, doesn't it?
Insane, even surviving on those 4 HP and doing some additional damage really does him wonders, but it was just not enough. All those 1-1-3s and anyone else, they're practically useless most of the time. Skylex, on the other hand, he was in front line most times. These are more than 3 clips done with that 57. That's all you need. And look at this, Algo, only 2 shots done here.
Yep, I mean, Mersky and Mendax coming in low damage, but it doesn't matter because the rest of their team are all on the front page. So it's not good to see autoloaders, tier 10 autoloaders not doing great damage, but it didn't matter in this battle because they almost like it wasn't needed from those 2 tanks.
Mersky was not best position with that 57 and he turned his flank to Insane. I've seen that, so he was pretty much on one shot entire game and he could not expose himself, and 50B was probably one of the guys who was first focused by Oops. But the rest of the team done more than enough. So we have it.
Going into a tiebreaker is what we're going to have next as we see the battle just going against the favourites was the great defensive play from Skylex. Now, as we go into tiebreaker, Mojo, we're going to be going into mines, and Swift are going to be on the defense.
That's an obvious choice on mines because defense on mines is still really advantageous, and you can pick all sorts of tactics. Now, Oops, well, they still have all the chances to win their 2 points, but they are really probably on a tilt, losing like this 2 games in a row for no reason, but their play, or just their play.
Yeah, I mean, if right now when we have the 8 teams in the league, obviously you look at the teams which you expect that are going to go into playoffs, and you think about the teams who you think are going to perhaps fight for those 2 relegation spots. Now, I was looking at Oops as one of these teams who would be fighting for the top spots. You've got Utopia, you've got Ding, You've got Oops, you've got Go Hard, you've got Kazna.
Yes,
They're the
and
teams.
Swift,
They're the teams
Swift
with
is
the
wa-
experience.
Swift is one of the teams that is actually lurking there from
Yeah.
the edge and trying to get their spot there. And then after that we have Rage Quit and the Val Bunch, and they're probably the weakest of them all. They will have to do some hardcore cosmetical changes to
Yeah.
be able to pull that one off.
They're going to have to really get their stuff together, shall we say, and really kind of sort out any issues they had, because their previous performances haven't been very convincing. They don't have players that you can say like, this guy's a standout for the team, like these guys or these two guys are going to step up and perform. So the top teams that we said earlier on, they have a lot of players that can, even when the team's not doing well, they can just grab the team by the scruff of the neck and say, let's get in there.
I may disagree a bit there, because Val Bunch has a guy like Agorni, who
Okay,
when
yeah,
he
fair
performs,
point,
he
yeah.
does really well, phenomenal also. And some of really guys that play admirably most of the
Mr.
time.
Kella sometimes comes
Kella,
in as
Kiki
the...
Mercat,
yeah.
and so on.
Uh-huh.
So they have their moments, but the problem is in overall decision making as a team. They're still a fresh team here,
Yeah.
and it's really hard to play against all these guys who had so much more trainings with superior opponents, and they just have more knowledge in their hands.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
It's
yeah.
really hard to deal with them. Same goes for Rage Quit. I mean, they're both the teams that are coming from the Silver Lily Hill. Of course,
Yeah.
same as Go Hard, but Go Hard also attracted a guy like Diplomat, who brought them a lot of experience there. So it's not the same thing to measure.
Yeah, so definitely. I mean, there is a lot to play for. I mean, it's two teams will drop out of the league at the end of season one. Well, one team for sure, because the one team comes up from Silver Series. So we're going to have at least, we're going to lose guaranteed one team out of all
One
that we
team
have
100%,
here. Yeah.
and one team will have fighting chance, same as these four before, and some
Yep.
silver guys and so on.
So let's have a look at the lineups here on Mines, and see anything. Nothing really.
I
jumping out
don't
at me
see a
here.
single change here in Swift lineup, so it's all the same, and it does look pretty much the same as the Oops played in offense. So none of them are changing. It's probably just gonna be how it's played.
Okay, yep, so just having a double check here myself. Yep, Oops, his lineup is the exact same Mojo, and for Swift, that chat's okay. No, so it's very, very similar, yeah. So this is going to be interesting. It's going to be a basic a rematch, isn't it?
Hey, it's really identical lineups now, so the question is just how will they play it from the start. We've seen where Swift positioned Artie last time. It was on K4. Will they try to do it again? Will Crespix manage to climb the hill?
Yeah, it's going to be real important here. Can teams actually make the boosts that they failed previously? Can they get the shots that they missed previously? And will the decision making be better? Let's find out as we go into the tiebreaker. Swift versus Oops on Mines. Okay, so here we are, Mojo. Swift on the defense, Oops on the attack. Who are you going to give this one to from here?
From this second, no one.
No one. Bold. Okay, I can appreciate it.
Same
Crespix.
position, same place here by Swift from the start.
Crespix
and
again! The exact same thing. Have they changed that bit of terrain and not told anyone? Has it been a sneaky patch?
No. It's not been a sneaky
I mean,
patch, but
he-
it's been a lot of slippery fingers here.
He ploughed into that rock good and proper like the first time.
Atmospheric on same spot. Poink is doing a defensive boost here. Algo should be right there on the hill already. And we have classic positions by Oops. They have the map control more or less here, while Crespix failing the boost is kind of a problem here now.
Whenever I see Spoink going somewhere, it just looks like he's off for a Sunday drive, you know. Where's Spoink? He's in a hill somewhere. So it makes teams have to look at every hill, terrified of where Spoink could be shooting from.
Well, it should be any time now that Percusiat will close in also toward the hill, because Camille is spotting the island. Mainland is taking over it now, and he's watching that corner as he used in last game. So pretty much we could have recorded the last game a bit and just let it play here, but that's only opening minute. Now we will see the real plays, what they want to do, how they want to deal with things. Skylex is on a proxy position below the hill now. Crespix even has a time for additional classes, and he's taking them.
So Camille getting spotted out there. Crespix going up for it again. Is this going to be like a repeat of the first match and he fails it again and slides
Come on,
down?
Crespix, mate. Let's see.
Looks like he's up. Looks like he's okay. He's going up slowly. There's nobody up there in the hill. Skylex is giving him that additional view. So Crespix is up safe. He's not slid down like before. Well done, mate. So everyone knows now it's not just a pre-recording. As we see Crespix taking this position up onto the hill at the right-hand side. Camille looking down across to Mendax there. They're going to keep each other lit every so often here, Mojo. And how are Oops going to approach this one here?
Well, Oops now has a couple of versions because obviously the weakest link in this defense is Atmospheric. If they fan him out, they can approach it by spotting, then pushing in 1-1-3 below, and then shooting him from several positions, while Spoink would keep Crespix in check. And this is exactly what they're doing. Percushiat is coming in, Fitzer is right there to cover him and do initial spot probably, and Algo will just come in on a hill later to make sure that no one is really making the problem. So it's a really big thing now here because Spoink moving in and getting spotted like this, he has an approximate idea where is someone, like is maybe Atmospheric there.
Okay, so nice driving from Percushiat straight into the corner of the building as he's just trying to get himself safe so that nobody has any angles on him. Camille rotating around. He's left the west flank of the map and he's going to come and give additional support to the hill. Now, do you think Oops are going to make a push on the hill, Mojo?
Well, if they want, they can, because there is really no one who can stop them or want to stop them.
Oh.
They know Crespix is on top of hill. Oh, Spoink actually took a shell here. Is it exchange between him and Crespix? Yes, it is.
Spoink stuck his head up over there. Now, he doesn't have a med pack. You can see there he's got rations, extinguisher, and repair kit. So Spoink has no commander.
No commander again.
That is going to be quite critical for him because he A, doesn't have Sixth Sense anymore, and his vision is also reduced because of that.
No Brothers in Arms either.
Yep, Brothers in Arms is just completely lost as well. So that actually is quite a statistical disadvantage there for him. He loses a lot of bonuses on the tank.
Yeah, quite a bit of them. And I don't know, we've seen so many people lose the crew members now. I think it's even viable in Pro League to take those med packs now, because we've seen so many guys drive with 1 or 2 crew members down all the time.
And with the Batchat as well. I mean, the Batchat's only got 3 crew members.
And we're not talking about radio operators here.
Yeah, and the thing is how often do you see people lose crew members to how often they get set on fire?
Oh, Road is spamming a Percussion here with HE shells. So selfish of him.
So cheeky. So cheeky.
There
wow.
80 by 80. You can
connection.
do it. 30 more and you're there.
Yeah, but I mean, he's damaging modules. So Percussion's now lost, he's got damaged vision port there. Commander's viewport. So it affects his vision ever so slightly.
I think it's more annoying him than anything else.
Yeah.
But really slow game at the moment, indecisive. 5 minutes are up. I mean, it's good for Swift. It's rather bad for Oops, because so far, only thing Oops achieved is to lose a commander on Spoink.
Okay, so just
Skylex took some shots now.
flying around the battlefield here, showing every position from the Oops team members. As we're going to look at Spoink trying to trade shots here with Crespix on the hill, as Percushat sitting below the position where Crespix is. Over to Atmospheric, and we go right into the viewpoint now of Percushat, as Fisa's going to try and run up the hill behind them because they know they don't have the hill coverage. Bit bold from Fisa here though, isn't it, Mojo?
Oh, yeah. It's a good decision, but Artie missed him. Road actually might have another shell on him. It's gonna be a tricky one.
Skylex might try and come up over the hill and get a shot as well.
No,
nope,
no.
Skylex is missing. That's 2 shots from Skylex. Skylex tried and missed.
The thing is now, the logical choice for Oops is to start moving Artie on the other side so they could shoot Skylex and they could shoot Crespix. That's why they need a person to be climbed like Fitzer here, but Fitzer took a lot of damage and he will need constant support by Spoink.
Fisa in a dangerous position. He's right beside Zanaleon's Sarlacc pick. Doesn't want to go into that area slowly or he will not come back out of it.
So far so good for Swift. Oh, even Artie in that position is really dangerous for Swift. Now we see a really good play by them because Oops, I don't think they even expected he can splash them there.
So Fisa being a bit like the punch bag at the moment for Swift as he's getting shot at from
Dead
everyone.
driver.
And he's got a dead driver, yes. So Fisa up on an area where he needs to stay mobile and active is no longer mobile and active. Atmospheric You can see him driving around the base, switching cover. Massive hit there onto Camille, trying to come across the bottom with Algo. Algo's little collision with them there actually doing quite a significant bit of damage, 276. Mendax getting shots into him as well. Good tracking shot into Camille as Algo drives into the back of him. They don't have any counter shots. That bad one from Algo as Algo's getting himself caught in a crossfire here between Mendax and Atmospheric coming over to support his teammate as well. Camille's going to back off, but this push from Oops has been countered. Swift can actually get kills here if Atmospheric makes his shots count.
I think actually Swift already won a game here because they are really on time with their decision making. Atmospheric already served his purpose in Village and he was rotating before these guys even were spotted. They read the Oops plays up ahead, far away.
So Mayland is ready to shoot as well, but Mayland gets shot as well from somebody. I think it was perhaps the grill, as Mayland was set for about 600 and something. Atmospheric trading off here against Camille. Mendax is still safe. Oops have driven into a kind of little trap here from Swift, and Swift are in control of this match, Mojo.
They're rather in control. They have a tank more. I mean, Mendax maybe have a dead driver there, but he still has a full clip. And now Oops with artillery still has to attack, and it's 2 minutes and 20. How do you kill all these guys? Crespis is still untouched there on the hill. I don't think they even have a solution how to deal with him.
A ricochet there onto Percusia, but the second one connects from Crespix. Crespix in such a dangerous position there. As another shot comes in there, looks like from the grill there from Mihailov into Percusia. Percusia just can't go anywhere right now. No matter which direction he goes, he's got a gun shooting at him.
No, Swift has everything covered here, and there will be a final push by Oops here just because they must. They have no solution, and it's gonna be a Swift one, I would say. They're not gonna survive this.
So the clock going in Swift's favour. As they're the defending team, they can run down the clock. Oops going for a desperation move here. Percusia coming running down off the hill with Spoink. They're going to try and get shots into Road. Road just needs to get a shot into Percusia. As he does, Oops have just lost 2 tanks in quick succession. Now we see Cameo getting dropped as well from Mendax, and the overlap there from Atmospheric. Insane gets a kill on Mendax, but it's all over, ladies and gentlemen. With 1 minute and 20 seconds left, Oops have only 3 tanks left. Swift have 5. Swift are defending. They can just run away and hide right now. Feaster gets dropped from Oops. This is it. GG Swift. Well played to come back from 4-2 down, but Oops, laddies, what have you done? You have thrown this one away.
They had 2 match points, not 1. They had 2 match points ahead. And this was the big throw on Ghost Town. Ghost Town, again, a death map for some team. We've seen so many teams lose 2-0 by now on it that when you lose the first one, you should really start to worry. Like,
Yeah.
It's a really turmoil map because it doesn't really favor a defender or attacker. It's just about the place.
Yeah, poor Spoink here trying to do what he can, but he only has, well, not a lot of rounds left, but too much HP there on Swift to try and deal with. The Road's going to come in, perhaps ram him at the end. No, Atmospheric just gets the kill. And there we have it. So, Swift taking it against Oops, 5-4 in a tiebreaker. Oops, you lost that one, guys.
Again.